Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, everybody. I'm Jeff Currier with Dan Kepley. We're all set for the second half. Did the first half unfold the way you thought it would?
Well, I think there's too many mistakes out there. There's a lot of giving away points, giving away field positions out there. I'm looking for them to be more ball controlled in the second half on both of the teams. Defensively, they played as tough as I thought they were going to play.
Neither team could punch the ball into the end zone very often. Pretty much even. Total yards, though, the Argos with a big edge. 203 to just 151 yards for the Edmonton Eskimos. The fumbles hurt the Toronto Argonauts.
One
Jimmy
fumble
the
there,
Jet fumble on the 2-yard line.
That was a crucial, and then the interception that Demeko came up with the tip ball from Doug Glutie.
Time for the second half. Mike Vanderjagt with it at his 35-yard line. Blunt and Williams back to receive. Beautiful sunny day here in Edmonton. The Eskimos will have the wind at their backs in this third quarter.
You get that beautiful sunny day. Yeah, go figure when we woke up this morning at 8 o'clock and took a look outside of the hotel room to see what it was like. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
When I first got up, I thought, oh, we're going to get a little dusting. And then it got real dusty.
Yeah, but you're one of those guys who's from Saskatchewan. A little dusty means about 3 foot of snow.
Second half is underway. It's the Gizmo at his 20. Straight ahead. And you'll see the 39, but not the 40. Pretty good coverage again. Michael O'Shea, not only the starting middle linebacker, but also an excellent special teams player downfield for the Argonauts. Danny McManus, the quarterback. Blunt and Burse, his backs. Tobert and Flutie, the inside receivers. Baker and Brown outside.
Danny McManus out of Hollywood, Florida. Needs to show a little bit of Hollywood in this second half and get this offense going.
Not bad numbers in the first half, but not a lot of points to show for it so far.
They've had trouble really finishing their drives once they have a chance to get in the red zone.
Got lots of time. Far flat. Burse cut down. Good open field hit by Donald Smith. Now they're talking. A little chat.
They're not exchanging recipes, I can guarantee you that.
So McManus comes out with a high percentage play to open up the second half, and they'll be second down in about 3 or 4.
And more importantly, he goes to a high percentage person to get it done. Tony Burse.
They're going to run it on second down, and will they get the first down? Only if Eric Blunt gets the effort, and he does. Big effort by Blunt to do it all by himself.
And Jeff, you couldn't have called it any better. He did everything on his own. They're going to run a little counter trap and take a look at the penetration and watch the move that he makes on Mike O'Shea. Go, get out of here, forget this. Now he just slips and runs right through the hands of Andrew Stewart, through the tackle of Harris, puts his head down and picks up the first down. What an effort.
First down at the 52. Quick hit inside, complete. First down, Eddie Brown. O'Shea on the coverage, but it'll be a first down into Toronto territory.
Now correct me, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, that's his first catch of the day. Second time he's had the ball thrown in his direction.
It is the first catch of the day for Eddie Brown. The 63rd of the season. He had 1,200 receiving yards coming in.
Now, when you only catch the ball 63 times and you've got over 1,200 yards, you're doing a lot after the catch.
First down at the 44. They give it inside. Burse looking for some room. He's not going to find any. Pretty good straight arm on Benson, the outside linebacker, and he'll pick up about 3 or 4. Strong running back, Eric Blunt. Closing in on 1,000 yards for the season. Came in with 963. Second down, 5 yards to go at the 39-yard line of the Argos. Just underway here in the second half at Commonwealth Stadium. McManus wants the shotgun. Steps up, delivers, incomplete. He wanted Eddie Brown. Threw it over his head. He was being covered by Johnny Harris.
Danny McManus was being pressured a lot by that defensive line, led by Demetrius Maxey and Stewart. Just to not have a chance to get his feet planted and settled in and make a good throw.
You talk about Eddie Brown needing to get his hands on the football a lot early. The Eskimos weren't able to get that done today.
No, they really didn't. And as I said earlier, from what I gather, it is really important, obviously, to get him involved in the game. You got to send him deep. You got to get him involved as far as catching the ball to get his confidence.
Well, Sean Fleming misses again, and here comes Jimmy Cunningham. He fumbled once down there. He won't do it this time. He's got some room. Look out. To the 40, and is cut down at the 45-yard line. Cunningham is stopped by the backup by Errol Martin.
But the Americans are no secret to them. For Team USA, it's...
Now is the perfect time to start weightlifting. The perfect time for SoloFlex. For a lot of good reasons. No other exercise is better for your overall health than weightlifting. The muscle you build on SoloFlex increases your metabolism to burn fat 24 hours a day. Weightlifting also boosts your immune system and increases your aerobic capacity. Weightlifting strengthens your bones and tendons. And nothing works better than weightlifting to improve your looks and energy. Now is the perfect time to call SoloFlex. Call now for your free brochure and video.
Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, everybody, for the ESPN2 coverage of the Toronto Argonauts and the Edmonton Eskimos. Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in our coverage of today's game. We're into the third quarter, 8:45 to go. It's a tie ball game, 2nd down and 10 Argos at the Edmonton Eskimo 13-yard line. Glutie has to fall on the ball after a bad shotgun snap from Mike Kislak. Getting the sack is Melvin Hunter, but that'll be an easy sack for him.
You can take a look at Mike Kislak there, the center. The big guy I told you earlier out of Maryland. He knows he made a snap. Watch Doug Glutie. He goes right to his right. It just dribbles back. Not anywhere close to where he can make a good reception of that snap, and Hunter is all over Doug Glutie quickly.
Yep, these offenses have torn up the middle of this field today.
Well, they like to stay there. Michael Clements has torn it up all over the field. The most of the herd just kind of stays and grazes in the middle.
Mike Vanderjack with a 30-yard attempt. Doug Glutie will spot it for the lead. He's got him. It's a duel of the field goal kickers today. Mike Vanderjack so far is leading Sean Fleming. 17-14, the Argos lead.
People are talking to people. They'll simply say it. You won't believe it.
You can believe it. Sprint's great dime-a-minute rate just got better. Not just a little better. No way. Sprint said,
let's give them something to talk about.
And this is it. Call for Sprint Cents and you'll pay just 10 cents a minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the number you call most often. So call now and start talking. And when you sign up for Sprint Cents, there's no confusion about what you're paying. It's always just 10 cents a minute on all your other state-to-state calls to anywhere in the country. Every evening, every night, and all weekend long.
Let's give them something to talk about.
On top of that, you'll get 10% cash back after your first year with Sprint. So call now. Get 10 cents a minute all day to the number you call most. Call now.
1-800-621-7491.
Great day at Commonwealth Stadium. The Toronto Argonauts out front of the Edmonton Eskimos. With Dan Kepley, I'm Jeff Currier. Glad to have you with us on the Deuce today. Eskimos getting the ball back. It's the Gizmo. He's got some room. Look out. Is tripped up by Mike Morreale as he crossed the 45 and landed at about the 49.
Mike just caught the back heel and knee, the right leg of Gizmo. If not, he's gone to the barn, baby. And he knew it. He was so close to breaking that one.
Gizmo has missed most of this season with a bad hamstring and came back late in the season. He's come back with fresh legs.
And it's a good time to have a guy like that in your lineup. He is one of those instant field position guys also.
Eskimos at their own 49. Good strike by McManus for a first down.
Danny Mack came into this game. He needed 150 yards. To now he has broke that to become the third Edmonton Eskimo to ever throw for over 4,000 yards in the season. That first name you see, that stands for Mr. Warren Moon with Minnesota now, and also Tracy Ham, who played down at Georgia Southern. And he is the quarterback of the Montreal Alouettes.
You're in pretty good company. First down at the Argo 49. Give is inside. Big running room for Blunt. Ed Barry on the stop. But they'll be close to another first down. Kept, one of the things you said the Eskimos had to do is to run the ball inside the tackles today.
They have some crucial things. I think they need to be able to do that. Let's take a look at this. Henry Gizmo Williams, CFL's second all-time leader in all-purpose yards. 18,606 yards. George Reed, the great running back out of your place, Saskatchewan Roughriders, 20,051.
This will be another first down for the Eskimos. Blunt again. Richie Gibbons on the tackle. Tell you what, with George Reed, though, most of his yards were as a running back. Most of Gizmo's yards are as a return guy.
You're exactly right. George Reed was one of those tough between the tackle kind of runners. He was a punishing guy. And you mentioned earlier about having to have the Eskimos run the ball in between the tackles. The big thing is that they do not have any threat with Danny McManus. He's not a fleet-footed quarterback. He's not going to scramble out there. So they have to run the ball tough in between the tackles to set up his play action to buy a little extra time.
McManus in the shotgun, has lots of time, delivers a strike into the far flat. This will be another first down. Shalon Baker picking it up to the 21-yard line.
Shalon Baker, who came out of the University of Montana, nicknamed the touchdown maker, had a chance to speak with her. I said, you want to say hi to anybody? I said, this is on the Deuce, it's going back to the States. He said, no. He said, all I want to do, say hi to all my guys back at the University of Montana and wishing the Grizzlies a big season in '96.
Well, that university's turned some good players into this league. Mike Trevathan and Matt Clark out in BC. There's the give inside again. Nothing doing this time. They went to that well once too often. They'll get a couple, but that's all.
A lot of movement in the backfield. They're running the ball inside, but they're also having Eddie Brown come from his slot back to reverse around. So therefore, that defensive end on the offside has to respect that, because who knows? Danny Mack may just pull it out of the stomach of Blunt and then give it to Eddie Brown and let him utilize that speed and get it into the end zone.
They'll be generous and give him 3, 2nd and 7. McManus, he's dancing, gets rid of it over the middle. Glutie turns it inside. It'll be first and goal, Eskimos at the 2-yard line.
We've seen it a lot in the Canadian Football League with Danny Mack, and I know the people down at Florida State saw it when he was a legend down there as their quarterback. That quick, strong arm of his, once he scrambles around. Now watch, Darren Flutie fronts up, makes himself a big target, good concentration, able to get away from Michael O'Shea, the middle linebacker, turns it up, smells the goal line, puts his head down, makes it first and goal on about the 3-yard line.
You give it to Willie Pless again here?
Well, I'm fairly prejudiced being an old middle linebacker. I'd like to see him get a few more.
There's some beef in that backfield. First and goal. Blown dead. Flags all over the place.
A lot of hands coming up, illegal procedure against the Edmonton Eskimos. See, Willie missed his chance. Now all those big guys come out.
Ron's got his hat off. He's grimacing. He wants to say something.
Oh, he'll say it. You've known him for those years. You saw him as a quarterback over in Regina, Saskatchewan for the Roughriders. I think, what did he play? 19, 21 years, something like that?
19 years in the CFL, 3 in Ottawa, 16 in Saskatchewan.
This is a man that speaks his piece. He doesn't hold back too much.
First down and goal, just outside the 7.
Regular offense back in.
He's got his man, Baker, throws behind him. Danny Mack back, too slow getting rid of the ball. Harris on the coverage and threw behind the receiver Baker.
And Harris was in that panic speed with his head down, trying to catch up to Baker. Had he looked up and found the ball, that's going to go 60 other way. That ball's thrown behind him. Normally, that's a pick.
Like that panic speed.
Panic. Everything puckers up and you just panic. You drop your head down and you go, buddy.
Second and goal from just outside the 7. 4:10 to go, third quarter.
Do something different, Danny. Quarterback draw.
Comes back inside, is almost intercepted again. Johnny Harris. This time he had both hands on it, still couldn't squeeze it, and again the Toronto defense stiffens and the Eskimos unable to punch it in.
Johnny Harris, with his first opportunity to play a bit for the Toronto Argonauts, has a chance to make a big pick. Gets his hands all over it, just can't come up with the grab.
Sean Fleming is not enjoying his finest moment as a professional kicker today. He's only 2 out of 5. Now his 3 misses have come from outside of 40, but all makeable. He's had the distance in all of them. This one you would think he'll make from 15 straight on. He does. We got another tie game. 3:46 to go, third quarter. Don Matthews and his team still in a tough fight.
Through the years, he's amazed you, surprised you, and brought your nightmares to life. Now, Stephen King brings you the greatest horror of all.
You killed my daughter, and I curse you. Thinner.
The weight loss is accelerating.
There is no such thing as a curse.
I'm being erased.
Thinner. Directed by Tom Holland. Rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
If you had a Soloflex machine, you could do 32 real iron pumping exercises. You could build muscle, lose fat, look better, feel better, and have more energy. Call anytime for a free video and brochure.
Atlantic Division rivals lace them up in Jersey. Mark Messier leads the Broadway Blue Shirts across the river to face the Devils. The Rangers Devils, Wednesday at 7:30 on ESPN2.
In Edmonton, they all know this guy. Recent inductee into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Dan Kepley. I'm Jeff Currier with the Right Reverend Dan Kepley. Tie game, 3:46 to go in the third quarter here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. A possible Grey Cup preview this year. The Toronto Argonauts and the Edmonton Eskimos. A couple of other teams, of course, have a little bit to say about that first.
I think so. I think that Montreal team and that Hamilton team are going to have something to say for it.
Calgary Stampeders might have something to say, too.
The Calgary Stampeders are definitely going to have something to say for it. They said, hey, last week we beat this Toronto team, so where does that put us?
That scoring drive for the Edmonton Eskimos, 5.5 minutes. That's not a lot of yards in 5.5 minutes. And Sean Fleming had to settle for a 14-yard field goal.
That's the big key right there. You get the ball inside that red zone, 25 yards in. You got to come away with a major score. The Eskimos today a couple of times having to settle for just the 3 points.
Doug Glutie and the Argos at their 34. Everybody out. Over the middle. Guess who? Pinball.
Guess who? Reggie Pleasant with the tackle again. Mr. Pleasant, meet Mr. Clements again.
Their former teammates. Reggie Pleasant probably played his best football for the Toronto Argonauts.
One of the all-time leading cornerbacks for the Toronto Argonauts. Just a terrific year. This is his 9th year in the CFL. The previous 8 were with the Toronto Argonauts.
2nd and 5 at the 39. Again, everybody out. Now they've got him on the run. Dumps it off. Pinball. First down to the 50. Willie Pless slipped on the coverage, and that allowed the pinball to get open inside.
2 things happen up as Mike Clemens came down. He sat down in the zone and looked like he was, again, he was man-to-man, I should say, with Willie Pless. Willie took his eyes off and saw that Doug Glutie had broken out of containment, and that's all Mike Clemens needs. 1 second, he slides right back to the inside, makes the catch, keeps this drive alive.
First down Argos at their own 50. Glutie delivers again. Paul Masadi's first catch of the day goes for a first down to the 44-yard line of the Eskimos, where Larry Ruck drags him down. Paul Masadi's 61st catch of the day, of the year. That'd be a pretty good day.
On the day, that would be a pretty good day at the office there. Doug Glutie throws it. He finds the open in the soft spot in the zone. Masadi, as you said, 61st catch, about 915 yards this season. Paul is one of those guys, said he had some great catches. 1995, 70 catches for 1,336 yards. In his career, he's had over 16 100-yard gains. Dwayne Jematrician is down on the ground.
Yeah, he's been down before. He was down earlier in the end zone, and he's down for the second time. 4-year pro to the University of Calgary, spent his first 3 years as a part-time player with the Calgary Stampeders, now getting a little more action with the Toronto Argonauts this year. The Argos this year went through a terrible rash of injuries in the receiving corps. They lost Jeff Fairholm pretty much for the entire season, and Fairholm's career is over because of an injury to his back.
Jeff, you saw some of Fairholm's greatest years in Saskatchewan when he was there. Ken Austin, the quarterback. But as you said earlier in this broadcast, it has been just a rash of injuries throughout the CFL. At one time, the Hamilton Ticats had all 3 of their first string, second string, and third string quarterbacks all on the injury list. They had to bring back their new offensive coordinator, Mike Kerrigan, who used to be a quarterback, to start a couple of games, and they were winning with him.
A lot of injuries. 2 quarterbacks, not just quarterbacks, but Reggie Slack out with a broken thumb over in Winnipeg. Chris Vargas went down with a cracked ankle for the BC Lions. Some spectators out here enjoying themselves. Next game in the Deuce, the CFL, the Calgary Stampeders and the Edmonton Eskimos on Saturday, November the 2nd. That's one of the great rivalries in the Canadian Football League.
That's one of the times when they bring the metal detectors in and people got to check their knives and guns and weapons in at the door, because it is a gang fight between those 2 ball clubs.
The Stampeders have been the dominant team in the league in the 1990s, but the Eskimos over the last 20 years, 122 games over 500. That's not bad.
An incredible record. The Edmonton Eskimos, I think this is the 25th, 26th season consecutively that they have made the playoffs.
First down and 10 Argos at the 44. Glutie hit as he throws. Incomplete. He wanted Pinball Clemens again. At that time, there were about 3 green jerseys around the pinball.
3 around the pinball and 3 around Doug Glutie. But take a look here. This is the 25th straight year. Only the Boston Bruins have more consecutive appearances, 29. And the Eskimos aren't finished yet.
The Bruins might be, but the Eskimos aren't. Bruins are going to have a tough season this year, I think, yet making the playoffs. A lot of hockey observers feel it. The streak may end this year. Second down, Argos. At the 44-yard line, Glutie calls time. So the Argos have burned their timeout for the second half, with 1:05 to go in the third quarter in a tie ball game. Glutie's going to go over and have a little chat. Let's have a look at the CFL standings in the CFL West. Those Calgary Stampeders, who we'll see in our next telecast, leading with a 12-4 record. The Eskimos sitting at 10-6, still entertaining thoughts of first place. Winnipeg Blue Bombers with a playoff spot, but with a bunch of injured quarterbacks. Saskatchewan and BC both out of the running. Saskatchewan won the Futility Bowl against the BC Lions this past week. In the East, the Argos have got first place locked up. A 12-3 record. What a turnaround with the Argos this year. Montreal and Hamilton are in. It's a question of who will finish second and get the home field advantage in the first round.
And the Hamilton Ticats are getting a lot of their injured players back at a key time to go for that race down to the playoffs.
Glutie gets rid of it over the middle for the Jet. It's incomplete, threw it a little behind him, and the Argo drive stalls.
I'm not sure if that was too touchy of a pass or a little lackadaisical effort by Jimmy the Jet coming across. Now watch the ball being thrown. Got to stop. Comes back. The ball goes right through his hands. I think it's a pretty catchable pass.
Ball behind him, and you figure he should have had that one?
I think he should be behind him. You get back there. There's Glenn Rogers Jr. He's had a tough time at it all day long. He's been behind a lot of these Toronto receivers.
Gizmo Williams back in the end zone to receive this.
We got an injured Eskimo down quickly. Looks like Willie Plus.
It is, in fact, Willie Plus. Campus Reed coming over to the sidelines.
Okay, here's what's happening. Something was going on with the Edmonton defense. They didn't have the kind of people that they wanted out there. Willie Plus says, hey, I'll take it down. I'll go down. Now I'm going to sit down. I'm going to talk to the trainers. How you doing? Okay, this is the kind of a tactic. Now he's going to come up.
Fake it better.
Okay, now I got everything set. Now I'm going to come off for a couple of plays. Ron Lancaster said, hey, that's a pretty smart play on your part.
But don't you have to at least try to look hurt when you come off the field?
Well, you should. You should at least be, like
limp
dragged off the field or call the stretcher or do something. You don't run up under full speed. Don Matthews wants a little problem. He wants to say, hey, what's going on out there? Watch Giz. He's in the back.
So Gizmo knew.
Hey, we don't have enough guys. Wait, we're missing somebody. Willie says, take it down.
All right, now the Argos are going to punt with 1:01 to go in the third quarter.
Jeff, this is going to be interesting. Watch this just a bit. Get it to the corner.
They won't get it. We're going to get a return. The Argos didn't get done what they wanted to get done. And Don Blair will bring it out to about the 21-yard line. Don Blair arrived in mid-season, as you said earlier, Kep, after a tryout with the Chicago Bears, and hasn't really been worked into this offense yet, but they believe that this guy is going to be a player of the future for them. He has a chance to be a star in the Canadian Football League.
He really does. And as you said, he's late getting here. They even had an opportunity because some of the injuries that they had with their receivers. One of the great receivers in the Canadian Football League is a guy named Jim Sandusky. He's an assistant coach, does the specialty teams, and he also works with the receivers. He had to suit back up for a couple of games this year.
McManus in the shotgun on first down. He's going deep. Incomplete. Shalon Baker covered by Don Smith.
See, I think it's really important that Danny Mack has good first down production. When you set yourself up second and long, and I said in the keys, they have to be able to convert their second and long. This is where Toronto puts a lot of heat on Danny Mack.
Make it easy for yourself to convert second and long by getting something on first down.
Exactly. You got to come up there, get 5 or 6 yards, and make yourself 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. Then you can run a scramble. Then you got a guy like Blunt who can maybe make a run if he can get by that man right there, Mike O'Shea in the middle.
Trips to the left. That's where Mack looks. Into the flat. Drop. Darren Flutie, the receiver. Donnie Wilson came over and may have broken it up.
I think Donnie Wilson got the hand in just a bit. The ball went right through the hands, it looked like, but Wilson just messed up the concentration. Look, coming right at you. Take a look at this. You call it. Did get the hands on it right at the last minute, tipped it away. Good play by the veteran.
Don Wilson's now 35 years old. He's playing like he was about 23.
Hey, he is put together. He can run. He still is active. He can cover guys. Intercepts balls, he does it all.
Great punt by Harper, out of bounds at the Toronto Argonaut 48-yard line. No return for the Jet.
In the law of the jungle, it's survival of the deadliest. These are the weapons that changed history, and this is their story. The story of brute force. From bayonets to smart bombs, brute force is the ultimate video history of weapons in war, in a collection only from Time Life Video. Join host George C. Scott and watch man's never-ending search for the ultimate weapon. As the machine gun leads to the tank leads to the airplane leads to radar, and radar leads to stealth. See the latest smart weapons tested on the battlefield and look back at the breakthroughs and disasters along the way. Call this toll-free number and go airborne with Fighters, now on sale for the exclusive discount price of just $9.99. You'll see the complete history of airplanes at war, from early dogfights in the Fokker triplane to the breakthrough performance of the P-51 Mustang and computer-guided accuracy of the F-15 Eagle. Call right now and we'll also send you aircraft carriers, a behind-the-scenes look at the world's most complex weapon system, absolutely free. That's 2 videos for the price of 1. Each future video in the series traces the complete evolution of a single weapon system. Tanks, submarines, helicopters. So call now to get your hands on fighters and aircraft carriers for the one-time only price of $9.99. Keep only the tapes you want. You've never seen footage like this, and you won't find this collection anywhere but from Time Life Video. So see how it feels to have the ultimate weapon on your side. See how it feels to fight with brute force. Call now and order.
To order your brute force and receive your free aircraft carriers for only $9.99, call 1-800-293-9100 or send $9.99 plus $3.49 shipping to Brute Force, Department 2, Richmond, Virginia 23280.
With 15 minutes to go at Commonwealth Stadium, the issue has still not been settled. Doug Glutie and his Toronto Argonauts trying to come back. Glutie is going to try to throw. He won't get the chance. He's down. They're going to call the ball dead. Glutie hit the dirt.
What a great athletic effort by Errol Martin. I think that's number 38. Watch Doug glide back in as Doug Glutie comes, finds a little hole. Bruce Dixon comes over there, strips the ball loose. I'm not so sure. I call it a fumble. Looks like he's down. Fakes the inside handoff, going to come to the outside. Martin forces him back inside. Good play by the Edmonton defense.
Second down and 13 to go. Back at the 47. Eskimos showing blitz. Here they come. Over the middle by Glutie, intended for Clemens, incomplete. Kept the Edmonton Eskimo defense, which we pointed out earlier was the stingiest in the CFL coming in, allowing just 270 yards per game against the most productive offense. The battle isn't over yet, but right now you'd have to say the Eskimo defense is doing a pretty good job.
They're doing a great job. They're bending a lot, but they're not breaking. Doug Glutie gets exactly what he wants. Man-to-man coverage. He gets Clements over the middle, one-on-one, just not able to connect.
Here comes the gizmo. Down he goes as he crosses the 25 to about the 27. The Argos have been scoring almost 31 points a game this year. The Eskimos giving up fewer than 19.
Like you said, it's stingy, and it has been stingy for a lot of years. They have a tradition here of playing tough defense, and they've had to play a little more defense this year than they had in the past few years.
Time now for the Edmonton offense to try to get something going. Their first down at their own 28. The give is inside. Blunt's got some room outside. He'll have a first down and more. They keep running that play, keep getting positive yards on it.
And a lot of this is just individual effort. Now watch the ball getting handed back. Derek Butt makes a big cut on the outside. Reggie Gibbons, number 38, loses containment on there, and then Blunt has some pretty good speed. Gets chased down from behind by Johnny Harris.
Kep Blunt has gone over 1,000 yards for the season here this afternoon. First down at the 42. McManus, lots of time, throws, almost intercepted. Darren Flutie had to turn DB on that one.
Well, we've seen about 4 occasions in the course of this game that can really justify why Danny Mack has 23 interceptions coming into this game. Look at this. Man-to-man, good solid coverage all over Darren Flutie. 2 guys there, Nemenko and also Ed Berry. I'm sorry, that's Donnie Wilson. Comes in, Donnie gets his extended, gets the hands up, and he gets it nailed right in the chest. He's a tough guy. He'll line it up and play again.
Second and 10, Eskimos at their 42. Again, lots of time for McManus. Again, he throws, no flag.
This is one time when I think Ed Berry got away with one. He's got the left hand, I think, all over the back of the shoulder. Let's check it out. We got a great picture here. Good jam. Comes off. There's the hand. There's the body contact. I think Darren Flutie has a pretty good argument.
It's an argument you're going to lose every time, of course. The Eskimos now forced to kick it away. Glenn Harper on to punt. Pretty good average today. Kicking into the wind in the fourth quarter. And it shows. He bounces it, and it's going to skip out of bounds at the Toronto 39-yard line. 29-yard punt with no return. Will return, though.
Now is the perfect time to start weightlifting. The perfect time for SoloFlex. For a lot of good reasons. No other exercise is better for your overall health than weightlifting. The muscle you build on SoloFlex increases your metabolism to burn fat 24 hours a day. Weightlifting also boosts your immune system and increases your aerobic capacity. Weightlifting strengthens your bones and tendons. And nothing works better than weightlifting to improve your looks and energy. Now is the perfect time to call SoloFlex. Call now for your free brochure and video.
Kep, I think we should have another look at this one. Darren Flutie. You said a good jam by Barry.
Does this. Now watch the left arm, the little contact. He's all over it right here. Boom, there's the contact before the ball gets there. Now, all that's going to do is create an opportunity for the Edmonton Eskimos to continue a drive. They're having a tough time finishing their drives and putting the ball in the end zone. That's why Sean Fleming has kicked 3 field goals.
Argos from their 39 will pick up the first down to their 50-yard line. Paul Masadi on the receiving end of that one. When the Argo offense has been successful this year, it's usually when Flutie and Masadi are able to make a few connections during the game. That's only Masadi's second catch of the day. Without a huddle now, here come the Argos.
Well, Jeff, that just goes to show you how many weapons this team has. When Masadi only catches 2 balls and they are competitive in football games and moving up and down the field, they have a lot of weapons.
Now Flutie on the scramble. This is where he's fine. Takes a pretty good shot as he crosses midfield. He'll pick up 5, 6 maybe.
Hey, this is where Willie Pless is so good. Smart linebacker. You're going to come out here, and if you see that you're one-on-one with Doug Flutie, watch how Willie Pless, he's just going to break down, settle himself. He's not going to try to take his head off, knock the quarterback out of the ballgame. All he's going to do is grab some cloth, get a hold of him, slow him down, and have the pursuit do some damage.
11 minutes to go. We're in a tie ball game. 2nd and 4 Argos. There's the pinball. He is rejected at the line of scrimmage. Big play by Leroy Blue.
Mr. Leroy Blue. Big 245-pound, born in the St. Vincent Island of the Caribbean. I've always wanted to be friends with him just so I could go visit maybe sometime, you know, just go down there and have lunch or something one day.
Yeah, especially when it starts to get a little chilly on the prairies.
When we woke up this morning to that kind of snowfall out there, and as I said, it's just only going to get worse.
This is Blair. Breaks one tackle, but not another. Argos, as always, great downfield coverage. 43-yard punt. Not much on the return.
Hey, what's up, man? All right.
Who is that?
Oh, man, check it out. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
It takes courage, audacity to be true to your own self. It's like my father used to say, it's never been a melting pot, it's always been more like a salad. I mean, you get tossed around a lot with all the other ingredients, but you still have to keep your own flavor.
Be united, be unique, just be.
CKB, the fragrance for people, Calvin Klein.
Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, everybody. I'm Jeff Currier with Dan Kepley. Got a good football game going here, and the Edmonton Eskimos are now starting to lose the battle of field position because they're going into the wind in the fourth quarter. They're looking for a hero or two to make a big play.
It's important for Danny Mac again to say have first down production.
Shreds this one in there, and breaking a tackle for a first down. Darren Flutie.
And see, this is one of those kind of like, hey, show me in your face kind of thing, because he comes back. It's the same route that we thought the pass interference happened on earlier. One-on-one, Flutie against Ed Berry. He breaks a couple of tackles and picks up an extra 3 or 4 yards. You see the gloves that he wears, those are those glass cutter gloves.
First down. We're going to run it up inside. Big hole block. First down. Eric Blunt got into the secondary before they had a sniff at him.
The big boys up front are getting the job done. Rod Knopp, Ed Kusi at the left guard, Derek Soldes, I should say. Excellent surge off of the ball, creates some holes, and that guy right there doesn't need very much space to make a lot of things happen.
There's the toss inside. Incomplete. Good coverage by Johnny Harris.
Johnny Harris has been all over this field. That's about 4 knockdowns he's had. Something is going to happen. He's either going to make a big play and pick off one, or else he's going to bite at the wrong time, and somebody's going to take him and beat him deep. And Danny Mac will come up with a touchdown. But he has gotten his hands on 4 very catchable passes that could have been interceptions.
Eskimos finding themselves in second and long again. They haven't had much success in this situation today. This will be a first down if Brown can get around the corner. He's not going to get it done. He's corralled first by Smith with late help from O'Shea, and the Eskimos will have to give the ball back to Toronto. The gain will only be about 4 yards to Eddie Brown, who came into this week's play leading the CFL in receiving yardage.
Just a split-second decision now. He's going to throw the ball underneath. A lot of crossing routes. You usually try to create some separation. You see the heat that Danny Mac's going to get by Andrew Stewart. Not until after he's thrown the ball. Eddie Brown catches that ball, makes the decision to try to outrun him rather than make a quick plant and get vertical straight up the field. Edmonton has to kick it away.
There's a one-hopper. Harper bobbles it and then wobbles it. It's going to skip down to the Jet, who has to let it roll, and he'll pick it up around his 23. Digs himself a hole at the 28. Little shoving after the fact. A 42-yard punt. 8:18 to go. Doug Glutie, only 163 yards passing.
Take a look at the snap. Skip it to him, one hop. He's good shortstop. Keeps the body in front of the ball. Been able to get the glove on it and get the ball away.
You can see that path cut across the field. That's where one of the snow removal machines was going over earlier. We had a lot of snow earlier in the day. Great job by the field crew to get this field ready. Flutie in the shotgun. Lots of time. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Tyrone Williams, who has the Argo touchdown today, wanted that one, and Flutie wanted him to have it.
As I said earlier in this broadcast, that's the time when he comes off the line of scrimmage and he's on a seam route going straight up. But when he turns to look back at Doug Glutie, he's looking right back into the sun.
Flutie's only been under 200 yards once this season. And unless guys like Tyrone Williams start bringing those in, he might be under 200 today.
That's exactly right. But when you're playing against one of the best, if not the best defenses and stingiest defenses, these numbers are justified.
He goes deep on this one. Great catch! Oh, baby! Jimmy the Jet Cunningham does what Tyrone Williams couldn't do. He went up and caught the football in traffic, and the Argos move the chains to the Edmonton 50.
Take a look. Derek Beatty just cannot pick up the ball. He's in that panic mode also.
He was bobbling the ball as he came down, and now he's hobbling.
Just a little hobble there. He's just coming over, and he tries to shush away. He says, hey, get out of here, Moriali. I'm okay. I need to play here a little bit more. I'm not going off. Watch Doug Glutie take him deep right now just to show how. Hey, this is a sneaky kind of game sometimes. You got to pretend and play possum.
Glutie into the near flat. That's nowhere near Cunningham. Beatty was in the flat, but he didn't have a real good crack at it either. Second down and 10 now for the Argonauts, I beg your pardon, at the Eskimo 50. 6:50 to go in regulation time.
And we've got another injured Toronto Argonaut down on the ground, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like number 28 again. That's Dwayne Dimitrition. He's either having some serious problems. I think he may be cramping up, and he's had some problems with it. I saw the last time. The training staff is down in the right knee area and looking up. Looked like they were rubbing really hard, like in the quad. You just don't know. You hate to speculate.
I wonder if there shouldn't be like a 3 knockdown rule or something like that, where you have to
got to take him off for a play or two.
He'll have to go out for at least 3 plays because the training staff has come onto the field. Mike Moriali will, in all likelihood, come in. The Argonauts have got a lot of options in terms of their receivers because Masadi has played a lot of slot back in his career. Tyrone Williams can play outside as well. That's
what's so great about this offense and the personnel that they have. They're so interchangeable. It's not saying if you're a wideout, you're going to stay a wideout. They may line up Jimmy Cunningham inside of the third on the slot.
Tuna casserole!
You got a client meeting at 4 and you better be there.
You're not gonna wear that, are you?
Hey, lady, you're out of Huggies.
Life getting kind of complicated? Try the simple luxury of an Accord V6 sedan from Honda.
McDonald's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with an all-white meat breast filet, fresh lettuce, and tomato on a bakery soft roll. It's a grown-up reminder that you're never too old to drool. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
What do you get when you cross a high-quality conventional motor oil with an advanced formula synthetic? A revolutionary oil that protects better than regular oils, yet costs less than full synthetics. DuraBlend from Valvoline. Valvoline's the #1 choice of top mechanics.
Toronto Argonauts and the Edmonton Eskimos all tied up. The clock running. We're in the 4th quarter. Flutie with everybody out on a pattern. Little spinorama, throws it to the far flat. He's got his man and short of the first down.
Not by much. This will be something, it'll be within a half a yard, maybe less than that. And Toronto will definitely go for this.
Robert Drummond favoring his hip. He was the offense in the first quarter. He's been a forgotten man since then. And another injury. That might be Drummond. No?
No, I think that looked like number 65. That looks like Vic Stevenson.
15-year veteran out of the University of Calgary is Vic Stevenson, and he's in some obvious difficulty. Former BC Lion and Saskatchewan Rough Rider, played a lot of years in Saskatchewan. A couple of years in BC, helped them win a Grey Cup.
1994 was Grey Cup champion.
He's thinking he might win a Grey Cup championship with his 3rd different team. Chris Perez, who was dinged up earlier in the game, is back in.
3rd and about a foot.
Under 6 minutes to go, a 3rd down gamble by the Argonauts. Flutie keeps easy first down. So they move the chains again, and the Argonauts now will try to eat up as much time as they can and work this ball in and score.
Been the big difference. Doug Glutie's had great success in converting those 2nd and long situations for the Argonauts as opposed to Danny Mack. Keeps those drives alive, keeps the clock running. drives it down, put them in field goal range, or hopefully for their sake, what they're thinking, let's put it in for the major.
Trips to the left. That's the wide side for Flutie. 3 men short side right. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up over the middle. The pinball on the run. Still running. Cutting it inside and finally taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
30-yard pickup.
Pinball Clements is tearing up the Edmonton Eskimos today. And Ron Lancaster knows there's nothing he can do about it.
What's coming across your screen from left to right? It's one-on-one. Two of the best in the business. Clements against Willie Pless. Willie's been chasing. Willie just gives up. Doesn't chase him anymore. Michael Clements with that effort gets the ball down. Makes it 1st and goal for the Argos.
The Argos got the matchup they wanted on that play. And they're knocking on the door. Again, it'll be everybody out. Eskimos rushing 4. Into the end zone. Broken up. Flag.
Interference, Reggie Pleasant. Let's see if they call that. See how good my zebra job is today.
Ronnie knows it. Here comes Jake Ireland. Well, take my word for it, he said, illegal contact on an eligible receiver, number 6. Jed Roberts coming into the game.
Mike Clements does a great job, a little move to get inside of Reggie Pleasant, and Reggie did exactly what he should do. Grab him, it's just like in a layup. You got the guy going, he's going to shoot the winning free throw or the winning layup. Grab him, take the foul, put him on the line.
Half the distance. Half the distance to the goal line, 1st and goal on the 4. Clemens the lone setback. Glutie dumps it off to Drummond. Will he get in? Yes, they give him the touchdown. Well, you're going to hear a lot of hollering on this one. We're going to have to see this one again, Kevin. Drummond gets the touchdown by sticking the ball over the goal line.
We're going to see some pretty good angles here. And I just don't think he's going to get... Take a look. He's working. He's working. It's got to clear the whole line. It never made it. And I think that's why that wide yellow line is right across, and we've got a great camera angle at it. That plane is not broken.
He's down there.
Boom, and his knee is way back there.
Yeah. Bad call.
Depends on which side of the field you're on.
First touchdown for the Argonauts since the opening quarter when Flutie threw to Tyrone Williams. Vanderjack's point after is good. Robert Drummond credited with his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. 24-17, 4:05 to go.
He's pretty happy.
I guess.
Not a popular call in Edmonton. There it is. He's going to fake the inside, come out like he's on the naked bootleg. Now it's just a little screen pass. He dumps it off inside the Drummond. Willie Pless is all over him. He's trying to bulldog him down, gets him down, but not before they called that he broke the plane, put it in for 6.
Eskimos now have to try to put that behind them, overcome it, and they need a touchdown to tie.
Great athlete, Robert Drummond. As I said, 6'3", 215 out of Syracuse. This guy can play every position that you want. He can line it up at fullback. He can play tailback. He can play slot. He's got the speed. He's about a 4'4" guy. He can play wide receiver if you have to at that speed. Terrific talent.
The Eskimos' only touchdown drive today was 2 yards after a Jimmy Cunningham fumble on a missed field goal. This one was an 81-yard drive, 10 plays, 425, and the 4-yard touchdown reception, Robert Drummond. This will be Gizmo at his 10. Looking for some room. He won't get a lot. He's out across the 30 to the 32, Michael O'Shea, and we've got a flag.
Flag down across the field. I think we're going to get an illegal block against the Edmonton Eskimos.
Eskimos can't afford any more penalties. They hurt themselves early with penalties.
They've killed themselves with penalties.
Holding. Didn't tell us who. Doesn't matter. They got to move it back anyway. 20-yard line. 3:58 to go. The Eskimos need a touchdown to tie. Danny McManus with a respectable first half and has moved the ball well at times in the second half.
He's just been very inconsistent today, and that's been a knock against him through the course of the 96 season.
This has been a typical Eskimo offensive performance today. Here comes the blitz. McManus reads it, throws.
What a catch! What a try to grab!
Mark Tolbert, 34 yards.
The young receiver out of the University of Alberta. Watch this catch. Houdini circus, one-on-one.
Adrian Smith was giving him a pretty good going over.
Yeah, a lot of bumping, a lot of contact, pushing and shoving. The Edmonton Eskimo receiver came up with the best of that duo.
First down at the 43. Going deep again, incomplete. And this time it was Blunt. And Eric's arms usually look longer than that to me.
Jeff, that's a pretty good call by your part. I think it's a great call because he looked at that receiver and he looked at that safety coming over to take a shot at him.
Now is the perfect time to start weightlifting. The perfect time for SoloFlex. For a lot of good reasons. No other exercise is better for your overall health than weightlifting. The muscle you build on SoloFlex increases your metabolism to burn fat 24 hours a day. Weightlifting also boosts your immune system and increases your aerobic capacity. Weightlifting strengthens your bones and tendons. And nothing works better than weightlifting to improve your looks and energy. Now is the perfect time to call SoloFlex. Call now for your free brochure and video.
Eskimos are second down and 10. Movement on the line. Flags go down.
Free play.
Danny Mac's got a freebie. Pumps once, slides safely into the 50-yard line.
That's the play. Obviously, he'd like to be able to take that back and not have to scramble on a freebie and throw it downfield with the offsides, as you see Jake Ireland calling against the Toronto Argonauts.
The Edmonton Eskimos out to protect their very impressive 6-1 home record this year. 2:32 left in this one. They need a touchdown to tie it.
Very devastating penalties at crucial times that really hurt them out there today.
That was the guy who could run the 2-minute drill better than anybody. Ron Lancaster was the master at pulling games out of the hat. 2nd and 5 at the 48 after the offside. Blunt will get the first down. I'll tell you what, if they gave Drummond that touchdown, they got to give Blunt the first down on this one.
Well, they got to even it out a little bit. Now you got to hurry up. Let's get the fire offense out there. Get them hurry up. Get them on the line of scrimmage. Good blocking up front. Blunt, as he's done all day long, just needs a little bit of daylight to make something happen. Picks up that first down, continues to drive. Clock running with 2:19.
McManus in the gun. Trips to the wide side. In some trouble. Steps away from it. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Mike O'Shea on the spot. Andrew Stewart with good pressure.
Great pressure, but Danny Mac was able to get away from that. Had some receivers open downfield, but just could not get any air underneath the ball. Now look at Mike O'Shea right in the middle of your screen. He's keying the quarterback. He's going to come up to make the tackle. I don't see, there's the receiver, Eric Blunt, that he's trying to throw to. A couple of defenders are in there. One of those guys, Johnny Harris, who we mentioned earlier. Mike O'Shea.
2nd and 10 at the 53. McManus needs one here. He's not going to get it. Throws behind the intended receiver. Darren Flutie in the flat. 2:04. It's 3rd down and 10.
You got to snap it and go for it on this. I don't think you give Doug Glutie the ball back with less than 2 minutes.
Here comes Don Blair with a play. Tolbert will come out. When Ron Lancaster was quarterbacking Saskatchewan, his favorite receiver in a situation like this was Hugh Campbell, who's now the general manager of the Eskimos.
Well, I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here and say that Danny Mack tries to find Darren Glutie somewhere.
3rd down and 10. This could be the game. Here comes the blitz. They've got pressure on him. Steps away and will not get the ball away. Danny McManus is sacked. McManus goes down in the arms of Rob Waldrop. And the Eskimos turn the football over on downs. And with 1:57 to go, the Toronto Argonauts are now poised and ready to claim their 13th victory of the season.
Take a look. The Danny Mack's trying to go downfield. But here comes Reggie Gibbons, hard off the corner, creates the pressure, disrupts the whole play. Rob Waldrop. Man's right there. Andrew Stewart. All of them are around the ball. Danny Mack does not have a chance to get the ball off.
First quarterback sack of the day for the Toronto Argonauts, and it could be the game clincher. Flutie with the bootleg. He's in some trouble. Now he's doing a little dance. And he is drilled back at midfield. It's such a moral victory when you finally catch up to him. Derek McCready, the nose tackle. It's like, oh, we finally got him.
Well, you don't get to see much of Doug Glutie's face as a defensive lineman. You're either seeing a shoulder run away from you or his backside. Derek McCready gets to go nose to nose with him. Doug Glutie's pretty happy right now. All he's doing is killing the clock. It's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's still trying to look downfield, and right at the last minute, McCready comes out of nowhere to plant him.
1:39. 2nd down and 22. Give inside. Nice hole up through the middle.
Good chance here. Edmonton Eskimos, if they call timeout, they'll be able to stop the clock.
Drummond on the carry, and the Eskimos will take their timeout here with 1:29. They're not finished yet. Ron Lancaster hoping that Danny McManus can get it done. Don Matthews always cool in game situations. You know, those wheels are always turning.
They really are, and they're turning at every phase of the ball game. Offense, defense, special teams, he's there. And when you've got that head of Doug Glutie and the head and the brain of Don Matthews, it's a pretty good combination.
Well, the Argos have not lost 2 all season in a row, and coming off a loss in Calgary, they're looking to put this one away. Vanderjack wanted to hang it up short. It's going to go into the end zone, and the Eskimos will bring it out. Boy, they've got a lot of real estate to cover. Don Blair brings it to the 14. Your choice there is you give up 1. Now you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but you get better field position, or you bring it out and you just need the touchdown and the regular convert.
Well, when your back's up against the wall, whether you need to go, you know, from the 35-yard line in to pick up a score and go for 2, why not? Get a chance right now. Blair does bring it out, but now Danny Mack has to move it from about the 14-yard line.
96 yards. The difference between the Edmonton Eskimos losing or going into overtime. McManus has a man open. He's got Glutie at the 38-yard line. Donald Smith on the coverage, but the Eskimos get a big chunk of that in one fell swoop. 14 yards is the gain.
Good protection by the Eskimo offensive line allows McManus to be able to find Darren Glutie down as the defensive backs of the Toronto Argonauts playing that soft 4-deep zone.
McManus again over the middle. Again he's got Glutie. This time to the 49.
Now, Jeff, let's you and I speculate a little bit. Say you go down and you score. Do you kick for the tie or do you go 2 for the win if you're able to do that? You being a betting man, which I know that you are.
Right. I think you take the tie, take your chances in overtime. But that's speculation at this point. The Eskimos are still 61 yards away from that. The Eskimos, although kept, certainly want to try to catch the Calgary Stampeders. They still think they can take first place.
They really can. And just to explain something with the home audience, too. Again, in the Canadian Football League, the last 3 minutes of the half and the ball game, the clock is stopped after every play, particularly on an incomplete pass. But if it's a running play, an active play, it allows the guys to get back on side and line it up before the whistle is blown in.
54 seconds after the incomplete pass. McManus to throw over the middle. He's got Eddie Brown on the run. He's got a first down and more to the Toronto 43. 48 seconds left.
Now, I know from personal experience of having accomplished this and also watching some of the games here through our broadcasting that you never say die being at Commonwealth Stadium. Some of the most exciting football has taken place in the last 2 minutes.
No huddle, four-man rush. McManus with time. He's going deep for Toback. Off his fingertips at the 15. Tobert gave it a good go. Don's starting to look a little nervous. He's working that gum over.
Always thinking, always working out there.
Second down and 10. 40 seconds in regulation time. The Eskimos are down by a touchdown.
Eddie Brown or Darren Flutie.
McManus over the middle, incomplete, and he simply overthrew Mark Tobert.
Oh, had him wide open.
Wide open.
Yep, Danny Mac knew that. Stepped up, just could not get his feet planted. Got a little too much air underneath that ball, and it sailed on him.
Third down and 10.
And I can guarantee you that Doug Glutie's saying, geez, I hope Bro does a pretty good job out there. Just not that good.
Once again, the ball game is on the line with 35 seconds remaining. Third down and 10 Eskimos at the Argo 43. Danny McManus delivers over the middle. It is intercepted by Michael O'Shea. He's bringing it back. He's down at the 47. And there is a mass exodus from Commonwealth Stadium.
Well, you went to the well way too many times. Michael O'Shea has just had a tremendous football game. Not only as a middle linebacker, not only coming up with the big interception, but he has been down and working his butt off on every special teams, making a lot of the tackles. Take a look, right in the middle, playing just like a good linebacker does. Reads the eye of the quarterback, sets down. Danny Mac wasn't going to get that ball in there anyway. Good hands by the linebacker, Mike O'Shea. They can say, big play, baby, big play. That's it.
Flutie will take a knee a couple of times. The Toronto Argonauts rebound from a loss at the hands of the Calgary Stampeders to defeat the Edmonton Eskimos here today. And Don Matthews, as a head coach, including postseason, has lost only 3 of his last 29 games. Ron Lancaster hoping to get past Hugh Campbell in the all-time Eskimo win list today. It's not going to happen for him on this sunny day at Commonwealth Stadium.
That's
Flutie drops to a knee, and that does it. This one's in the books. The Argos win it. We'll be right back.
The definition of gray. The boring midtones found between black and white. The definition of the Grey Cup. The Great Canadian Party. It's time to stand up and get passionate about your country, its traditions, its future. One of these great traditions is football played the way it was meant to be, radically Canadian. The Canadian Football League. It's hard-hitting, it's longer, wider, faster football. Every game is an event, a party. More importantly, it's our game and we won't change it for anyone. The CFL, radically Canadian and proud of it. Now you too can be a radical Canadian by wearing radical hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and golf shirts, all from Starter Canada. Get radical from only $19.99. Call 1-800-8174-CFL. These items aren't available in any store. The only way you can get radical is to call now. Dare to be different. Get radical. Be Canadian. The Canadian Football League, it's radically Canadian. Call 1-800-8174-CFL now.
The CFL is brought to you by the Corel Corporation, radically Canadian partners with the Canadian Football League. Your final score from Commonwealth Stadium, the Toronto Argonauts 24, the Edmonton Eskimos 17. Doug Glutie not having a banner day, as the stats show. The big turnover there for the Edmonton Eskimos. Interception by middle linebacker Mike O'Shea to snuff out a last-minute drive. And this is your final score. Doug Glutie to Robert Drummond. The Canadian Football League is produced by Deer Creek Productions in association with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jeff Courier, this is Dan Kepley from Commonwealth Stadium. Your final score again, Toronto 24, Edmonton 17.